Hello beer tubers and welcome to yet another beer review with me, Beer the Master of Hoppets. And today we're going to be looking at a brand new beer from Odell Brewing Company. This is the first time they released this beer, which is quite a cool concept. As you know, Odell is from Colorado, and this is their footprint RegionAle. And I guess you can call this a specialty grain ale, because the thing is that it's quite a unique concept. What they've done is that all the states they distribute to, they've picked an ingredient to put into the beer, which is quite cool. So they've taken a lot of states from the Midwest, Southwest, where they distribute it to and brew this beer. And it's on 9.5%, so it's a big beer, and it's in this corked and caged bottle. And yeah, it says here, there are 10 states that make up what we call our distribution footprint. Each state made a unique contribution to footprint. The Artful Ale is our tribute to these states in which our beer is available. The result is a crafty collective of regional flavors. And then you got the states. It says from Colorado you get hops and barley. From Arizona you get prickly pear. From Idaho you get barley and hops. Kansas you get wheat. Minnesota you get wild rice. Missouri, oak barrels. Nebraska, corn. New Mexico, green chilies, of course. And South Dakota, barley and honey. And Wyoming, wheat. So this is a really interesting concept. I saw this at the store and I thought it sounded really interesting. So yeah, it says here also that 40% of this beer was aged in oak barrels. 40% of it has been put those flavor ingredients in. And then 10% of it was aged in wine barrels. 5% was brewed with honey and 5% was brewed with wild rice. So this is a kind of an interesting experiment. So yeah, let's get this cracked open and see how the footprint ale is. Now this was only like $12, which is pretty cheap for a limited release beer like this. And I don't know if this is a beer they're going to keep making or they're only going to make it this once. So we've got it poured here, and it's it kind of looks like Dougal actually, a little bit darker. It's like a hazy, bright kind of yellow color. It's got a one finger whitish head. Check out the aroma. Fairly hoppy. Oh, you get the pear actually. Yeah. It's got that sweet fruitiness from the pear, definitely. Some citrusy notes in there too. I don't pick up much oak character at all, really. Even though 40% of it is aged in oak barrels. But definitely that pear, that definitely shines through. Also, some peachy kind of notes. It's quite fruity, the aroma. Don't really get the chilies, unfortunately. Or not unfortunately, but you don't really get them. But definitely that pear is not one thing. And it's also got a honey-like sweetness to it, but it's very subtle. A little bit of like an apple-y flavor in there too. It kind of smells a little bit like a Belgian ale that's hoppy or something similar to that. Because it's got that citrusy note to it too. Yeah, quite fruity, and it's a lot of the bright fruits. You can definitely actually smell the wine barrels because you get a little bit of a white wine or white grape character to it. It smells pretty interesting and really fruity. So yeah, let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. That is a pretty interesting beer. And it's actually really, really well brewed because you don't taste the 9.5% alcohol at all. The last beer I had from Odell was the Woodcut, which I was quite disappointed in. But like American brewers aren't that good at making quads, but this is actually really tasty. The mouthfeel on it, light to medium, fairly effervescent. It's kind of dry too. The first flavor you pick up is that prickly pear for sure. That's the first thing you pick up on. Some peach, some citrusy notes. Then when you swallow your beer, you do taste a little bit of the green chili, just a slight amount of it. Some honey sweetness in there too, some sweet maltiness, and the white grape kind of flavor. The oakiness is very faint. The only trace of oak you get in there is that it lingers a little on the back of your palate after you've sipped on it. You get a little bit of the oaky flavor to it, but that's about it. I think it's pretty tasty. I don't really know if I would consider it like a Belgian ale when I think about it. Maybe more like if you could call this an Imperial Golden Ale, like they have in England. Kind of like that maybe, because it's got a lot of the fruity flavors of a golden ale, just with an alcohol kick. And you don't really taste the alcohol at all. You get a little bit of heat, but that's it. But it's a pretty well brewed beer. Yeah, rating wise, I'm gonna give this an 85. It's a pretty good beer. You can't taste the alcohol, as I said, and all. But I'm a little bit disappointed because I hope that you can like taste all the different flavor components as you could in like a Firestone Walker 14. But it's pretty well made still. I mean, I would definitely. It's like $12 isn't too bad for this, so definitely worth your time if you get Odell's beers in your area. So yeah, guys, that does it for this beer review, and 85 for the Odell Footprint RegionAle. Definitely let me know what you think of this beer if you've had it. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter. And I'm going to say cheers, guys. And I'm going to see you in another beer review.